ago talking about a threshold support. Obviously you're seeing it on YouTube. I've gotten this question a couple times. I never did a follow-up to that video. When we went out there and did the install, we were trying to get in and get out and get going. So we never did a follow-up. So I want to explain to you what I'm actually referring to and how to go about installing it. So use your imagination, kind of work with me a little bit, and I will give you some clarification on what I'm talking about. In that video, I'm on the inside of the house, and I take the threshold support and I flipped it out. And I explained why that was a problem to the homeowner and how we were going to fix it. But I never really came and showed you guys how I did it. So I'm not going to be able to show you again today, but I'm going to give you some additional input on that and some nomenclature. So come in here. So this here is called brick mold. So this is your trim here. Okay, this is a stepped brick mold, right? And it literally goes from the brick itself to the door jamb itself. So some basic nomenclature. You got the inside trim here. You have your door jamb and you have your brick mold. So on your door jamb, now this one's 4 1/4. Anything you get in a big box store typically is going to be a 4 9/16, 4 1/2 basically, but 4 9/16 jamb. This one's actually a small jamb. So, but typically you're going to be all the way out here to about 4 1/2 range. So if that was the case, so in that case, what's going to happen if you come down here and look. So the threshold on this door is going to be right at 4 1/2 inches, 4 9/16. Okay, so when you get a new door from a big box store, even the ones that I have, mine are actually a little bit longer, but they're going to be 5 1/4, pushing 5 1/2 inches. So that means that metal plate is going to come all the way out. So if I went to the big box store and got a new door, right? Y'all follow me? That metal plate is going to come all the way out to here, all the way to the end. So then your trim would go out another 1/2 inch as well. So the brick mold will actually overhang a little bit as well, right? Because the jam's going to be thicker, so the trim's going to come all the way out. So therefore, if you put a storm door on this, you're going to have a gap down at the bottom. It's not going to make a seal because the threshold is not long enough. All right. So what you would do? You would do one of two things. This has already been floated. So this concrete here is the original concrete. This surface right here has been added. It's not the same concrete texture. What it should be smooth if it wasn't added. So there's texture here. So this is actually a float on top. Why they did it is probably to make it look better. There's probably a chip or a crack in it, and they tried to make it look prettier. That's probably what they did. I don't know. I'm renting, so I don't care. So with this door, what's coming out? Excuse me. So typically on the back door, sometimes on the front door, depending on the age of your home, your threshold is going to come. Your new threshold is going to come farther on out. Because it's coming farther on out, you have to have some kind of support here to support this threshold. Not so much, like I said, not so much here that I'm concerned with. It's going to be down in these corners, especially this corner, because that threshold would come down. This little caulk seam here from the factory will crack and separate, and then you got rotted jamb or rotted trim or door. So you want to support this. There's a couple of ways of doing it. You can either run a 2x, like in this case, it would, if this wasn't here, right? It's 4 3/4, 4 1/2, 4 3/4. So you would take a 2x6, put it on a table saw, rip it down to that, and slide it underneath. When you're doing that, don't do the full 36 inches. But here's the problem. If you do just the full 36 inches, or 32 if you have a back door, there's nowhere for you to attach that to, right? It makes it really, really hard to get anything to attach it to the door jamb or even the trim. It makes it very, very difficult. And it doesn't look complete. So, and another thing that will happen is your leaves and stuff will get trapped down inside there, and then your bugs and all that kind of stuff get down inside there too, which no one likes. So what I would suggest to do is to go the full length. So if you have brick mold, right, because brick mold's 2 inches wide, go the full length. So you're going to be right at your 39 and a half, 40 inches. Okay. to go the full length, which in turn mirrors what you have up on top, right? So now it looks like a full rectangle box. If you don't use concrete, you can use 2x6, treated, composite. You can use several different products. It doesn't really matter if you want to do concrete. By all means, I do concrete now a lot more than I do lumber. Back in the day, I used a lot of lumber. Now I'm doing more concrete work and cleaning that up, kind of like this. But when you go, how do you attach it? Go from here to here. Some guys will drill into the foundation of the house and put a drop anchor, bolt, whole 9 yards. I don't really do that. I just kind of don't like drilling into people's foundation. I know it's not going to hurt anything, but I just rather not. So what we do when you go, imagine this is a 2x6 or ripped down. What we would do is 45 a screw from here up into the trim and the door jamb. So we're going to run 3-inch screw, maybe even a 4-inch if we have them. But we'll go at a 45 from here all the way up and into there. And that's how it's secured. We set that in, take your silicone, don't use liquid nail. Watch some other videos, you'll see it. Don't use silicone. And you want to square this off. So you want to build a box. You want to go caulk from here, all the way down, up here and across, and then fill the middle. You want to go all the way to the side. That way when you take this door and you set that door on that threshold, onto the threshold, right, you're making a full solid seal. As you make that full solid seal, you push it forward, do your screws, and you have a solid seal on the bottom. You do not have to caulk the front line of this. If you did your silicone correctly underneath the threshold, no water will penetrate and you won't have any problems. And then the flex, you more than likely will not have any flex. If you continue to have a flex here, when you set that door, that means your threshold has a bow in it. The only other way really around that is either refloat it with new concrete or they'll put a shim underneath it. You can come in, if you have a low enough floor, you can slide it in this way or you can slide it in this way, just to kind of give it some kind of, fill that gap. But typically, most of the time, your threshold underneath here, the concrete underneath here, is going to be level. It's going to be smooth. Now, that doesn't mean your house is racked right or your house isn't out level, but most of the time your threshold is going to be level. So don't stress about that. Get it as clean as you can, get it as smooth as you can when you take the old threshold off. Get it as clean and smooth as you can. Silicone it, drop that threshold down, right? And then you can re-rack your door according to what you need to do to make it right. Don't look at your sheetrock, because sheetrock can throw you off, visually, if you do it visually like I do. If you want to use the level, that's fine, but that's, like I said, that's totally up to you. One day I will do an actual door install video. I just, like I said, when I got there, I'm trying to get it in, get it out, and let's go off to the next one. So I haven't done an actual door install video. Hopefully one day I can. But that's for your threshold support, is ultimately what you want to do. You want to be able to secure it, 45 coming up, whether you have a 1x4 or brick mold or a 2x4. I see a lot here in San Antonio, they got like 2x4s and 2x6s for the exterior trim. Why, I have no idea. But brick mold, 1x4, whatever, and you can 45 that way. If you don't have the brick here and there, just have brick mold, and you have lap siding, like hardy siding or MDF siding or something like that, and you still have this brick mold, you can go on the outside of that brick mold, pre-drill your hole, and I've done it before. I pre-drill the hole on the outside of that brick mold and screw down into the top of the seal and come up. So it's not going anywhere. Another thing I've done is take silicone on the back side of the 2x, put it on the back side and put it on that way, and then screwed it all off. It's kind of depending on the circumstances. The homes that I've done that on, they had, water issues and, things like that. I just wanted to ensure that nothing was going to come into the home. So I didn't do that very, very often, but there were times that I did it. I hope this helps. like I said, I will do my very best about doing a live install video. Like I said, I will do my best. But if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Leave comments on this when will get uploaded to YouTube at some point. Leave comments on it, and I will be glad to answer any of your questions. Other than that, y'all have a great day.